This loan officer I'm about to talk to is stuck at 3 to 4 loans per month and wants to get his business to 10 to 12 loans per month, but he's not sure on which avenue he should focus his attention on. So in this time together, we talk about the different ways that he is trying to get business and help him locate and focus on the one that is his biggest opportunity. Check it out on this Loan Officer Hotline. Bill, I appreciate you jumping on. And as you know, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about and focus on ideally one thing, maybe two, depending if they kind of go hand to hand, to help you break through where you're at to get to the next level. And I saw that when you filled out your intake form, I just want to recap a few things. You know, you've been closing 3 to 4 loans per month. You want to essentially triple that to 8 to 12 loans per month. You're getting 10 to 20 leads per month, and you're converting about 20% into pre-approvals. Does that sound about right?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. And what do you feel is the number one thing? Like, if you had fixed this one thing, what would it be that would take you to that next level? Hey, real quick, if you're a loan officer or a branch manager and your business is stuck, whether it's because you don't have enough business coming in or you're having trouble getting the business closed, I want to help you. I do free loan officer hot seats where I invite loan officers on one at a time and I help them fix the biggest issue in their business that's stopping them from to grow. Now, if this is something that interests you, in the description is an intake form. Fill that out, let me know a little bit about your business, and I'll personally review it. If it's something I think that I can help, then my team will reach out to you and we'll get you scheduled for one of our upcoming hot seats.
Honestly, it would be marketing, lead generation. In terms of lead conversion, I'm pretty dialed in, pretty comfortable.
Okay.
But just filling the top end of that funnel is my pain point right now.
Okay, cool. And what are the things you've been trying?
So I had what's the most recent one I tried was called Loan Bright, which was interesting. It gave me a guaranteed of 5 leads per day, every Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And then so it was basically guarantee of 25 leads per week. The problem is that they were going out to, sometimes I found out, like 5 different lenders at once. And then after a while, I would see the same lead, 2 weeks later that I had gotten 2 weeks earlier. So
they recycled it. They recycled it to many people, and they recycled it to you even. So
exactly, I think they screwed up a few times. Yeah. So I had that for about 3 months, and it was just a month-to-month deal. So I cut that at the beginning of February.
Okay. So the 3 to 4 that you've been closing, generally speaking, where have you gotten those leads?
Just recently, what's been popping is I have CPA partners, tax professionals. They have been, both of them have actually sent me 3, I believe, in the last 60 days. So that's my pipeline right now. The other big producer for me that works really well is Homes for Heroes.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get lead flow from there. The key to Homes for Heroes, are kind of the secret, I guess, is reaching out to realtor partners that are in the Homes for Heroes affiliate network and partnering with as many of those as I can. The pain point with that is that a lot of them drop out of the program. I feel like Homes for Heroes is kind of pumping it up big time to the realtors, promising more than they deliver.
Yeah.
Where it's, in reality, like my wife is a realtor, for example, she's on Homes for Heroes. If she gets a lead every 2 months, like 1 lead every 2 months, that's what she kind of expects, where they promise, 3 or 4 a month. And then people are upset that they don't get what was promised.
Yeah. I wonder, because, just on a side note with Homes for Heroes, has that kind of lost its luster, like the program itself? Because it used to be really big years ago. Has it kind of like diluted?
Yeah, I mean and that's it, dead on. In 2023, like when I went with my team to the big Homes for Heroes event, it was in Vegas. There was probably 1,000 people there, just live, and that's just kind of probably 20% of what was actually in the program.
Okay.
But then just recently this year, they've canceled it completely just because they they couldn't even pull, I don't think, 300 people. So yeah, I just think I think one of their pain points big time is that they're promising a lot and not really delivering a whole lot in terms of the lead flow.
Got it. All right. So other than Homes for Heroes with realtors, how has you been getting business from realtors too? Or is that it's only been in conjunction with Homes for Heroes, or you've been able to get it apart from Homes for Heroes?
I get it apart as well. I have a lot of, not a lot, I would say I have 4 solid realtor partners, one in Michigan, 2 in Illinois and Chicago where I grew up, and then one, my
Mm-hmm.
wife, obviously out here.
Yeah.
And they send me, all 4 of those people send me everything they have, really.
Okay. And
Um,
how did you get your CPA partners?
that's the same thing. I grew up with 3 of them.
Okay.
The 2 of them were just from high school. One was from college, so I guess not grew up with, but
Yeah.
we went to school together. And then once they got into the business, or me when I got into the business, I reached out to them first.
All right. And so obviously that's a great in with that rapport automatically. Are you
Mhm.
needing to do anything from a like a value perspective to those CPAs to get them to refer or to trigger it or help them to trigger things, or is it just because your relationship's so strong that they're sending you business?
The latter. Our
Okay.
relationship is so strong. I should be probably, greasing those wheels a little further than I am,
Yeah.
but it's worked well the way it is right now. But in the future, I know that that's one thing I want to focus on this spring is reaching out to more of them, which
Yeah.
now is kind of late, tax weeks in 2 weeks here. But
Right. They'll tell you go
so
pound sand right now. I'm too busy, right?
yeah, it might be a little behind on that one to say the least. But on top of that, I need to reach out to more realtors as well and
Yeah.
get partnerships with them.
All right, so I'm gonna show you some. Here's where I think you should go, and where I feel you should go. This is if I was in your shoes, what I will do, and is that there's this framework that I follow. It's called more, better. Hopefully you can see this. New. All right, so is it backwards on your screen, or is it only backwards for me?
It is backwards on my end too.
Okay. It's probably not going to be backwards then on the actual recording. These are things you figure out when you're only doing your second episode of these things.
No, totally.
But let me see if we can make this work and it come to make sense. And so as we're talking and as we look at problems in our business and we want to grow, one of the first things people think about doing is going to the new and is saying that, okay, I need more business, so I'm going to add this other thing to my business. And in your case, it sounds like that is, the online leads. I'll just call them OL,
Yep.
online leads of some sort. And however, you've been getting business from, CPAs and, real estate agents, real estate agents. And so when you're going to the new, these are while they're both generating leads, is that there's actually two very different, when I say skill sets, it's very two different processes in order to convert leads from online leads versus, referrals, right?
Hmm.
Two very, very different processes, two very, very different expectations. Yes, you got to take care of them. But as you can see with the online leads, is that they're being sold to others.
Yep.
They're resold to you, right? Resold.
Right.
And then they also conversion is usually very, very low on these, even if you are hitting them very fast and all that stuff, depending on the lead source. Now, if you're going to like a bank rate or something along those lines where it's very further high intention leads, but high intention leads cost a lot of money and they also have crazy competition. And also those same companies are dropping their margins huge. So it's like a huge loss, right, for it.
Yeah.
However, if you were to redirect that effort, time into CPAs and real estate agents, you would grow. Because your better business is coming from the referrals that you were getting from those agents, or from obviously CPA is a little bit different, so maybe we can talk about that, but maybe a little premature. But I'll give you an idea on CPAs that might get you in very quickly. But let's talk about real estate agents. How are you getting your real estate agents?
I've been leaning on the Homes for Heroes program, is that I'll reach out to those Homes for Heroes agents in markets that I know are high ticket markets, like a Boulder, Colorado, an Ann Arbor, Michigan,
Okay.
Hinsdale, Illinois. So I'll be intentional about that. And then with Homes for Heroes, it's a really easy. It's almost like too easy, where it's, hey, you're a Hero affiliate. I
Mm-hmm.
am too. I've been in the Hero program for 5 years now. Do
Okay.
you have a partner? And it's kind of almost that lazy, which is not. I shouldn't
It's
say
not
lazy,
lazy.
but
It's smart.
it's that. Yeah, it's either do they have a partner or not. If they don't, then let's partner up in the system so that I'm getting the leads that you get.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is try and send people back your way as well.
Okay, so here I'm going to show you something here. Is them, you, when I say them, these are additional real estate agents or CPAs. And your goal obviously is you want to develop a relationship with them. And in order to get business with them, you have two ends that you can do this with. And that's where this third part of our pyramid, our triangle, goes, is how you can create the triangle of trust in order to jump the line in developing the relationship. Because, like, for instance, if I were to refer my friend to another company, he's going to automatically be closer. It doesn't mean guarantee he's going to purchase from that company, but he's going to like it. Like, I just bought a new home gym. It hasn't been delivered yet. If I like it and I tell other people about it, they're going to be more apt to buy that one because of my referral or their affinity towards me. And so, like, here's the fastest way for you to triple your business. You're doing 3 to 4, you want to go to 8 to 12. Is that going to 8 to 12? It's, for me, is leverage. It's leverage, and it's a little bit different if you're going to go from 3 to 4 to 30 on there. It's going to be a little bit more things that you're going to need to do, but going from 3 to 4 to 8 to 12 is creating leverage. And for you, it's there's two big things. You have Homes for Heroes and leveraging that, which it sounds like you're already doing, but could you do more?
Definitely.
All right, so we go back to doing more of that, right? You do more of leveraging your Homes for Heroes. But here's the other one that I absolutely love too, is that it's leveraging relationships. I'm not going to be able to spell this all. The realtors that you have a good relationship with, or you're getting business from them, how difficult would it be for you to ask them, hey, realtor, I really enjoy us working together. I would love to work with more realtors just like you, or you can change it a little, or depending on how you talk with them, is would you connect me with some of your realtor friends?
Okay.
And here's the cool thing. If you like them, birds of a feather flock together. You're more likely going to like the realtors that they like. And if you can get that person to make that introduction to you, you're going to skip the line. Instead of starting here to try to get to the top, you're going to be skipping right to the middle and getting that opportunity with them.
Got it. Yeah.
You develop that. Yep, the same thing. And you can not only do that with your relationships you have that are good. Obviously, your Homes for Heroes, you want that to eventually turn into a solid relationship, not just simply built on Homes for Heroes, right? You want it to be all encompassing. And then it works. It's you can get to an 8 to 12 unit business, which with a dozen or so realtors and CPAs. CPAs, let's go back to CPAs a little bit. This is a little different because of the nature of how you've got those relationships. It's just that they're really good, but it's the same thing. Is that while you might not have a value add like a Homes for Heroes per se to offer to the CPA, is that you have a friend. And your friends, other CPAs tend to know other CPAs and they connect you. And wealth partners are one of the best types of partners you can have for a referral agent. One of the big reasons for it is somebody that's using a CPA, what do their clients typically have that not all clients of realtors have? Usually they have money, right? They have money, they have a job. If they have a really good CPA, like say they have a tax advisor one, like mine figures nothing illegal, of course, but finding ways, obviously, to use the tax code to your advantage, which means is that if you have non-QM options, they're perfect. They're great for non-QM clients. They're self-employed borrowers and those types of things. So they have money. They have obviously income. Is that a lot of them fit into a niche that you might have if you have non-QM. And who's not going after them? Loan officers. Loan officers are not going after them, which is great. And then one of the other cool things is as you develop relationships with realtors, you might be able to connect some of those realtors and their clients that you get from them if it fits with those CPAs as to bring it a value add. Sure. So CPAs, I'm a huge proponent of it. So long as they're obviously not just the file, the $50,000. I mean, you will really take any lead that you can, obviously, and see where it goes. But if you got really strong CPAs that deal with a lot of self-employed borrowers, it's a gold mine for loan officers.
Yep, definitely.
And then as you do this, as you continue to do more of this, let me change my color here. As you start to do more of these outreaches, try and develop these relationships, then the next stage is that how to make it better. And better is just improving your pitch, improving your offer that you provide them, and just refining what you're doing. But to get to 8 to 12 deals per month is that focus on the more and focusing on what works. You're familiar with the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort. And in your case, if you're spending time on leads, wasted effort for the most part, and unless you have the systems and set up for it, if you reallocate that time back into what's working, you won't just put 20% of effort to get 80% of your results. Now, what if you put 60 or 70% of your effort on those activities to get you 80%? You're going to grow exponentially.
Okay. Yeah, I see. It definitely makes sense.
What do you think about this? Does this help?
Love it. Yeah, I mean, because it's true. It's just a little wake up call. What I was coming into this call thinking about is what I'm going to go after next in terms of lead flow. And it's,
Yeah.
it's like you just said, it's kind of wasted effort because anyone and their brother who works at one of those lead companies is going to say, I have the best leads and I can produce this and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
They don't have any guarantees, obviously, or else they would be too flooded with business. So
the thing is that even if they have great leads, and I'm not denying that there's not ones that out there that have great leads, the amount of time and effort that you have to put to work them, follow up
yeah,
with them, stay in touch with them, and then the time for them to from the lead to conversion is that if you were for most loan officers, if they were to reallocate that time into a referral strategy with referral partners, they would grow much faster, and actually it wouldn't even take nearly as much effort and work.
yeah, totally. I agree. I mean, it's just a wake up call for sure because there's low hanging fruit right there with realtor partners who I'm not spending the time to reach out to, and same goes
Yep.
with CPAs, wealth advisors, things like that. Where I'm
Beautiful.
always telling myself each week, okay, I've got to reach out to this many of those, and then Friday comes and I've done one or two instead of the 10 to 20 that I should have.
Right. Cool, brother. Well, here's what we're going to do. Well, one, I want to hear from you and keep me posted how this goes. Two is once I have the recording, the transcripts and such, we'll put together a little document for you that's kind of recaps of what we talked about. I don't expect you to remember everything. And then when we have the video and all that, if you want a copy of this recording too, because at the end of the day is if we have information and we don't implement, it's not going to do us any good. I want to help you
Exactly.
implement.
Yep.
All right, brother. That's it. I'm going to hop on with the next person here and keep you posted.
Cool. We'll do, DJ. Have a good one.
You
Appreciate
too.
it.
Take care.